Let's have a little chat about gut health and disordered eating. Before we dive in, a huge disclaimer: if you're experiencing disordered eating, an eating disorder, or any sort of gut health issues, this should definitely be addressed by your doctor, and perhaps see a gastroenterologist, a therapist, a registered dietitian, someone who can support you with your personalized nutrition and gut health needs. So today I want to chat about gut health and gut dysfunction and disordered eating, so how these two kind of intersect and how they influence each other. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Pelletier. I'm a nutritional science student at Boston University, and I started this YouTube channel because I wanted to share science-backed nutrition information that can positively benefit your health and your life. I also wanted to share my journey with IBS, with acid reflux, and also with disordered eating. So gut health is a subject that I am extremely passionate about, and I think it's really important to have on your radar even if you don't struggle with IBS or any sort of gut dysfunction. Gut health is the center of our immune system. It impacts our hormones, our mood, our digestion, our skin. Every body system is impacted by our gut health. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. It really supports my channel, and hit the bell so you get notified for my future videos. I release new videos, new yoga videos, nutrition, science-backed gut health videos every week. So what is disordered eating? Disordered eating is a range of disordered or imbalanced eating patterns that may not necessarily indicate an eating disorder such as anorexia or bulimia, but it can indicate perhaps restricting food, eating at irregular times, eating imbalanced meals. It could mean having feelings of guilt or shame around food. It could mean a preoccupation with food, worry about food, a feeling of loss of control around food, or lots of fluctuations in weight. These are all kind of signs of disordered eating, and the biggest difference between disordered eating and an eating disorder is that an eating disorder is a diagnosis, where disordered eating is just a characteristic. So why does this matter for gut health? So if you have IBS or acid reflux, sometimes food can be scary. So I've definitely been there. It's really challenging to know, what are my trigger foods? Do I even have trigger foods? Because oftentimes food is not the cause of our IBS. In the very beginning, usually people start to become afraid of food, and their eating patterns may shift. They may not eat enough. They may eat a very specific food groups or exclude certain food groups. So it can get messy real quick. And when you're afraid of the way that food is going to impact your gut, that can then cause disordered eating. And I'm not saying this to make anybody feel bad, because I have been there. So I empathize with you if you are struggling with this type of thing, and I highly recommend to reach out to a gastroenterologist and a registered dietitian who specializes in gut health. That being said, it's important to first take a look, if you're struggling with gut health issues, to notice, like, where do I have food fear and where do I have disordered eating habits, if any. And this is without judgment. So this can happen easily. It can happen to anybody. Anybody could be at risk for disordered eating. So taking a look and seeing, do I have balanced meals? Do they all incorporate a carb, fat, and a protein? Do I eat fruit? Do I eat all food groups that are on the pyramid or the My Plate plan? And just noticing, like, do I eat kind of normally? And normal eating is a really flexible definition, but normal eating means at times, it means eating more, it means eating less, it means eating to satiety, it means eating sometimes when others aren't eating. It means having a flexible and balanced definition of healthy eating, so not feeling guilt or shame or fear around food. And if you experience those emotions around food, it can be really, really helpful to see a therapist. That was a big part in my healing journey, to see a therapist and work through some of these food fears. So anyways, taking a look and seeing, are my meals balanced? Is there anywhere in my life that disordered eating is showing up? Because this can negatively impact our gut health. So I want to say that again because it's really important. Stress or food fear negatively impacts our gut health. And we know this. Research shows that stress and cortisol can negatively impact our gut. And having lots of food rules and really strict regimes and rituals around food can cause stress in the body. So again, getting support where you need it. But I just wanted to draw attention to this idea or this concept because It's not often talked about. Sometimes it's two separate things, right? So disordered eating and then gut health issues, but sometimes they can really coincide, and it may not even be something that the person is aware of. And it just starts with awareness. So everything just starts with being aware of the thoughts that you're thinking, the emotions that you're feeling, if you're even enjoying your meal, if you're feeling kind of anxious around your meal. If this is resonating with you, then I highly recommend reaching out to someone, and feel free to comment down below. I'm always open to chat, and I respond to each and every single comment. You're definitely not alone if you're feeling this way. The other thing I want to talk about is how disordered eating can sometimes cause gut health issues. So it's kind of like the chicken or the egg, you know what I mean? Sometimes IBS happens and people start to restrict different food groups, but also the flip side can happen, which is what happened to me. I started to not eat enough, kind of not eat in regular intervals. I was really stressed. I was going through a really difficult time in my life. And then this kind of snowballed into IBS. So my IBS was caused because of disordered eating. And I'm gonna be fully honest with you that I definitely had an eating disorder. It was more than just disordered eating, and I wasn't eating enough. I wasn't eating enough carbs. I wasn't going to the bathroom regularly, and this created a really imbalanced gut and led to gut dysfunction, which probably led to also my acid reflux. So not saying that every IBS scenario is caused by disordered eating, definitely not the case, but this can definitely happen, and there's research to suggest that gut dysfunction is common in people with anorexia or bulimia, because having anorexia or bulimia is not supportive for a healthy gut. Our gut likes balance, it likes regularity with our meals, it likes structure, it likes balance, like I mentioned already. So it likes getting carbs, fat, and protein. We literally need enough calories to digest our food. So if we don't eat enough, we don't have enough energy to do all the digestion processes. Our body is going to use the energy for different body systems. So if we're in like a famine, which is essentially what is happening if you are not getting enough food, your body will say, where can I put this energy that's the most efficient? So one of the first things to do that will happen in anorexia or under eating is that you'll lose your period. And this is because the body is using the energy in different body systems that are more important than having a cycle. Even though the cycle is really important, the body needs to stay alive, the heart needs to pump, the brain needs to work, so the energy is going to move away from being utilized in our reproductive system, because it's not even a great time for us to have babies if we're in a famine. So the energy is going to be utilized by different body systems. The next thing that can happen sometimes is that we cannot digest our food properly because we don't have enough calories to do so. So the energy that we do take in is being utilized in different areas of the body other than our digestive system. And so I do believe this is what happened to me. I noticed my digestion starting to slow down. I wasn't regular. I did lose my period, and my IBS started to develop from there. So this is a really complicated and personal intersection between disordered eating and gut dysfunction. But I wanted to talk about it because I think it's more common than we realize, and it's nothing to be ashamed of at all. It's something that maybe should be a bigger topic of conversation in the eating disorder world, in the gut dysfunction world, because the two are definitely interrelated. And again, if you're going through this, I empathize with you. It's extremely challenging, and I highly recommend that you reach out to a gastroenterologist and a therapist. I definitely would not have been able to heal without the help of a gastroenterologist and a therapist. So if this video was helpful for you, or if you'd like to see other types of gut health and nutrition videos in the future, feel free to comment them down below. I respond to each and every single one, and I love hearing your input. If you haven't already subscribed, be sure to subscribe down below and hit the bell so you get notified for my future videos, yoga videos, meditations, gut health, all things wellness. Thanks so much for your support, and I'll see you next time.